Take it out, don't let it slow down. 'Cause this is different, this is patience. No, I'm never gonna waste it. Too much too soon, is it right now? Let me in, I'm waiting outside. Too much too soon, is it right now? Let me in, I'm waiting outside. Heaven knows I'm dreaming out loud. 'Cause I'm ready for the chase now.
Hello, my Audacious friends. I am putting together a Q&A today. It's based off of a funny photo on Instagram that I posted. Yes, today is part of a, like, here is the day in my life, sort of. I'm going to answer those questions to the Q&A. And it is like 8:38. Me and the pups are doing well. We've been up. This little nugget right here, he pretty much gets up when this one does. And this one now thinks he's getting food at 5:30. So he's getting up. And then that wakes up this one. And then we're all awake at 5:30. But luckily, after we fed them, went out, I got like a little bit more sleep. So up at 6:40, 6:45, something like that this morning. So meal one's already in the tank. Having my cup of coffee now. Then I'm gonna go train. So I'm just gonna kind of answer questions intermittently throughout my day. How does that sound? I thought that would be a fun way to do a Q&A. It just kind of really came to me, honestly. That's just kind of how things roll. Going to just start with question number one, and we're gonna see how much we get through of this. CN_Dixon asked, do you have any clients dealing with adrenal fatigue? If so, what have you found from research that promotes the best reset and getting the body to respond again? Should training decrease due to added stress on the body, decrease caffeine intake? So I do think this is a great question, but I think there is no specific way to handle adrenal fatigue. I think it is variable across different sort of environments and different people. Basically, most of my clients find a really good reset with time. It takes a while. From my experience personally too, being under a low caloric intake, being under high volume of stress that I was under, or high volume of training stress, meaning like tons of circuit training, tons of HIIT training that I was doing like 2 years ago. It took my body a while to adapt to a higher food intake and lower, training output. So again, the reset, it takes time. When a client is eating enough to fuel their workouts and weight is more or less stabilizing, that's typically a good indicator. Also for females, obviously, is like hormonal health. That's also a great indicator. Being able to get your blood tested and your checkups regularly to figure out if things are really where they need to be, and overall how you feel, how your sleep is, how your elimination and digestion is, like all of those play into a fact whether or not you're truly at like a good reset or a way in which you know that internally things are like working out well for you. Hopefully that answers your question. Again, I wish there was more cut and dry to things, but it's a trial and error process with a particular person based on their particular life. So Barbells and Bombshells asked, throughout your fitness career, what has been the hardest barrier or habit to break and why? It took me a while to accept the fact that I did not need to do high volumes of HIIT training to maintain a pretty decent level of leanness and also build muscle. That was like really hard for me to kind of like wrap my mind around a while back ago. Was like, I thought that my training intensity needed to be high at all times. I just never really like focused on the fact that I could build muscle. I focused on the fact that I needed to be smaller. And that was probably mentally one of like the biggest barriers for me. And you know, I think that's where I fall into like this weird bikini realm, is because I don't necessarily want to step on stage in bikini to be smaller. I just want to be conditioned. There's like a difference. Like I'm not chasing being a smaller individual regularly. And I think that I finally like broke that barrier mentally for myself. And like those habitual things of like, oh, weight loss. Like that's not how I think about a prep any longer. I mean, movement in the scale is definitely an indicator of conditioning though. So like I've just learned to separate those two like mental aspects in my head. So again, that was like a huge barrier for me to understand that I don't need to do like tons of series of box jumps and tons of like plyometric work to maintain pretty decent conditioning throughout even my off season. I just have to train effectively and I have to eat efficiently. So I would say that that would be like my biggest habit or barrier that I had to break. And again, I feel like I've broken it at this point. All right, so one more question before I start to get ready for the gym. Kristen_Marie said, I love to travel. What are 3 places you hope to visit in your life? Number 1, Australia. I have to go to Australia. I really want to go, like bad. And number 2, I want to take my husband to the West Coast, or just the Western United States in general, like Seattle all the way down through California. Like I want to do that little side of the world or side of this continent with him, like badly. I also have this really like strong inkling now, and I don't know kind of where it's coming from, to go to Portugal. Don't know where. I feel like I've seen people going to Portugal. I feel like they love it. They come back bronzy and beautiful and relaxed. So it's on the coast, and I really think that I want to go to Portugal all of a sudden. I'm gonna finish my coffee, get ready for the gym. Maybe I'll see you guys for a couple more questions. In case you're wondering, I have to make a conscious effort not to choose to wear green, like every day. So we went with maroon. Attempt to answer a couple questions while I'm getting ready for the gym. So I'm probably not going to be looking at the camera. Frankel56 asks, what is your favorite thing about living in Louisville? Is convenience. Everything is here, like everything. I've lived in a couple cities that didn't have very much, and like you would have to kind of plan to like go on a weekend to do a lot of things, to get things done, or to go get things you wanted, like, you know, get some good shopping in. So it's really convenient. Everything's here. There's so many awesome people here. They're just very nice. Like it's nice people. I just love the various gyms I'm able to go to here. I'm very, very spoiled here. Like very spoiled. So I've never had that, luxury. And it's very similar to where I grew up, which was in the outside suburbs of Atlanta. So Louisville gives you like that city life, but also you kind of feel like you're in the suburbs too at the same time. Like it's just kind of the best of both worlds. Rachel_getting fit. What field could you see yourself in if it wasn't fitness? Any hobbies you enjoy? I actually got my degree in public relations and marketing, and I did an emphasis on like sports marketing and sports publication, and like back in the day when magazines were the thing, one of my final exam projects was like a magazine for women's fitness and health. So like I just feel like I would still be involved in the fitness sector, but maybe more so in publication or graphic design. I really enjoy design. I really enjoy like layout and different things there. So I feel like I would still probably be doing something in terms of fitness promotion, but I would just be more on the creative side of things. I also, you guys know, I worked for Lululemon. I love Lululemon. Like if it wasn't for the fact that I love coaching, I would probably want to pursue like a job in some sort of way facet with Lululemon. Had to pause that so I can do things that required me to actually like focus and make that like face in the mirror. Next question, Bryden_fitness asked, what are your future family plans? Would you ever want to get married? Have any kids? If so, how many? Well, Bryden, I am married. I've been married for 5 years. I am happily married. As Katie Hearn likes to say it, she's super married. I am super married. We have known each other since I was 20 years old. Like we spent our 21st birthdays together. We've been through a lot, like a lot. He is my rock. He is my other half. And future family plans. As of right now, kids aren't truthfully on my radar. You guys know I have some audacious goals ahead of me, and I really would like to possibly get those underway before considering expanding my family. I expanded my family with another dog, so you know, we're a family of 6 now. There is 2 cats and 2 dogs, and my hands are tied with them right now. How did you and your husband meet? Why do we never see him? Okay, so we met, I was a beer cart girl at a golf course, and he was a cart guy at the time, like the guy who cleans out the carts and moves them around. Then he worked up to like one of the golf professionals at the country club, and I was a bartender / manager there. So we like worked together there all the time. We were sort of co-workers, but not really. But that's where we met, and we have been together pretty much almost ever since. And you never see him because his job is extremely demanding. Like when I say demanding, it's like they say jump and we both have to say how high. That's why we moved very frequently. He has a management role with a very well-known company and very established company, like one of the most historically old companies in the United States. His schedule is very variable. He doesn't have the traditional 9 to 5 hours. He doesn't have the traditional off days. Everything is very at a level of unexpected. So you don't see him that often because when I get to spend time with him, I don't want to share his time with the camera. I don't want to share my time in Insta story. I don't want to, you know, share much only because he's like, that's my time with him. Like when you guys are getting to see him is probably the few times I'm getting to see him throughout the week. Like, I'm just not gonna share that time with you guys. I'm so sorry. Please don't take offense to this, which I don't think you guys would, but like that time is just super valuable to me, and I try to disconnect. I try to disconnect as much as I can when I'm with him. He does know that I work from home, obviously. He does know that my business is revolved around my phone and my email. So, you know, there are issues there sometimes. I'm not gonna say I'm perfect, but I try my best to keep a lot of that part of my life private, only because like that's the time I get to spend with him. So I don't just like to just throw it out there all over social media. I will let him know that you guys want to see a little bit more of him. If you could be a character on a TV show series, which show or series would you pick? I really like Cookie from Empire. Like, I'm obsessed with her. Empire is not one of my favorite shows, but she is probably one of my favorite characters. I just really like her as a person, both outside her role and her role as Cookie. So our favorite TV show is Power, which is a Starz TV show. It's about a large scale drug dealer in New York, and he is trying to go straight and be a club owner in New York. And that is our favorite TV show. Like, hands down, when it comes on, we don't do anything but watch that. We're like, and I'm like, oh, I'm on edge almost the whole time of the series. It's so good. If anybody watches Power, please comment below, sharing your love with the show with me, please. I'm gonna close out some questions here and maybe answer some in the car on the way to the gym. I'm running some errands today too. That's why I actually took the time to like get myself more ready. Hat's going on because hair needs washed. And oh my God, guys, this hat is from Urban Outfitters, and every time I put it on, I think of Kelsey, because it was actually her idea to have this hat. Like, I copped her style totally. But when we met last Sunday for sushi, I saw her in this hat and I was like, let's go to Urban. Like, I gotta go and I gotta get that hat. And so now every time I put it on, like, I think of her, I think of that conversation, I think of that shared moment we had together, and I love this hat. If you guys didn't know, women specific hats have a shorter brim here, so you can actually see my face. When I wear non-women specific hats, you won't be able to see my face as well. Just tidbit information. While I am putting together my pre-workout, I figured I would go ahead and chat with you about a question. So Ella Bashley asked, what is it like working for your own company and then going to work at Lululemon? Well, I no longer work for Lululemon because I fully embraced working for my own company. It has its trials. You know, it's hard. You have to manage your time extremely wisely. You have to negate the fact that there is traditional work hours and embrace the fact that you are working non-traditional work hours. And the way that the nature of my coaching business is I am pretty much available to my athletes at all times. There is no real restrictions. I keep a small client volume to where I don't feel like I have to restrict my clients from communicating with me on a regular basis, and I don't put any stipulations on that. Again, I also have very considerate clients, and they don't overwhelm me either. They are very organized with their feedback. They're very organized with their check-in. You know, you just have to embrace not working a traditional schedule. I don't particularly have a single day off of the week. I work throughout most days. I just have like sporadic times in which I can manage my time to have some free time, like training and stuff. If someone wanted to apply at Lululemon, what are some of the qualities the Lululemon manager or team look for? Also, I'm curious and nosy, what's your discount as an employee working at Lululemon? Out of the discretion and privacy of the company, I won't disclose the employee discount. Just know that they do take great care of you as an employee with many incentives to be working for them. I 100% believe in everything that they offer their employees. And it was a very great experience, both from a financial perspective and from a generous perspective. What they're looking for, every team within every store is very different as far as their, personal qualities and athletes that they employ. So every team is going to be variable in what they're looking for to fit in with their team and be a good match for working for them. As for the Lululemon here in Louisville, we had a wide array of athletes. They didn't have a specific, bodybuilder athlete on their employee roster. They had CrossFit coaches and CrossFit athletes, but I was kind of a very unique perspective. I also had been super passionate about the company for so many years and been a firm believer in their product and firm wearer of their product for probably 4 years prior to being hired. Very much so able to evoke that passion for the company while I was being interviewed. So I feel like that's the biggest thing, is be passionate about the product, be passionate about the company, and be willing to open to learn more about it. That's what they want to be able to be for you. They want you to be as an educator of the brand. So Faraday, I hope I'm always pronouncing that correctly. She asked, what are your top 3 supplements that you would recommend to anyone that is working out and trying to live a healthier lifestyle? Number 1, typically supplements are supplementation. I emphasize micronutrients the most with somebody who's adopting a new lifestyle. Obviously macronutrients are important, but I feel like when people are getting started, they hone in on these macros and they forget that there's these little things called micros, like your vitamins, your minerals, that also aid in your overall health and performance. And so with that said, if you're starting a new healthier lifestyle and you're working out and creating that stressor within your internal environment, because working out is a stressor. I can't reiterate that enough. You are creating stress in the body and you need to respond with that in good recovery methods. And so these are honestly my top 3 that I would go to for your everyday healthy individual. A performance-based multivitamin. This is Legion's Triumph. This is for performance-based athletes. A high-quality fish oil. Fish oil is amazing for you. It gives you great healthy fats. I take 2 capsules in the morning, 2 capsules at night. And then the other one that I'm a new fan of, and I wish I would have started this prior to this year, is ashwagandha. Again, this is a stress response related vitamin. Those are my top 3. All right, V Deluxe asked, how did you achieve your success, get followers on social media and YouTube? Any tips for newbies? I really wouldn't call what I've done a huge success, to be very, very honest with you guys. I don't base my career on social media. Obviously, it is a marketing tool, but I don't post client progress updates. I don't use social media to promote me as the coach so much. And I don't feel that I have a huge following. I'm very much so a micro influencer, if you will. My engagement is really high because I promote me and I promote everything that I stand for, and I'm very true to who I am. And I also am very open about my process, and I'm very honest with my following. So I feel like they can engage with me in a way that they can't necessarily do with other content creators. I'm also very active on my content. I respond, I reply, I do the best I can to make you feel welcome to follow my content. And I think that that is what makes engagement higher. And I think engagement is far more important than the number of following you have. And engagement tells me that I'm actually putting out content that people want to know about and want to be a part of, and they love being here on this channel. And I think that's where I derive my success from. I don't think I'm a successful influencer by any means, and I would never give up my career to fall back on social media only. That is why I only upload once a week. That is why I might post once a day, maybe twice a day on Instagram. Some days I just skip. And I'm just not consistent in that way because it's not a priority in my life currently. It does not pay my bills. YouTube will not pay your bills if you don't have a huge following and a large output of videos and content. People who can upload 3 and 4 times a week might see a financial backing from YouTube, but I don't. It's literally not very much, I promise. So don't think that you can just jump into this whole social media thing and make a career out of it. It's very, very time consuming and it takes a while. I was older when it first all came out. I'm not in my 20s, so I've had to just accept where I stand with it. Sorry, puppy is playing. Really do probably need to close out that question and get to the gym. See you in the next one. So here is the workout outfit today. Have my NMDs with my husband's Adidas socks because men's socks are better than women's socks. And just some Align pants and this old half A-line bra from Lululemon. Got my hat, giant tripod, probably not coming with me to the gym, but we're out. Bye-bye. I had a couple of questions I wanted to answer before I close out this clip. I'm on the way to the gym finally. It's been a long morning. It's right at a little bit after 10 o'clock, I think. Madison Fit UK, I'm not reading it on my phone obviously, but she asked, I believe in summation, what job roles I have had, I guess, throughout the course of my life. Well, as you guys know, I was a beer cart girl through college. That is what paid for most of my college and paid for a good bit of my living expenses. I didn't have anything but the Hope Scholarship, which in the state of Georgia, the Hope Scholarship at the time was if you maintained above a 3.5 GPA, if you stayed within an in-state institution, blah, 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 your college tuition was paid for. So my college tuition, because I maintained above a 3.5 GPA throughout college, my entire tuition for the 4.5 years was completely paid for. Whew, thank goodness. But I paid for the majority of my living expenses, my health insurance and my car insurance and my car and transportation and whatnot. So I did work throughout college. That's why it did take me 4.5 years rather than 4, because I did have to spend quite a bit of time working to pay for school, and pay for living. I was also a bartender in downtown Athens at a place called The Winery. It was a wine bar, but a bar nonetheless. I worked game days during happy hour for the football games. Awesome way to earn money if you are good with people, if you're fast. I loved bartending. Oh my God, it was awesome. It was a great time in my life. It's definitely a time that I'm glad is in my past, but it was definitely a great time in my life. I had an internship with a large-scale health and fitness center called the Omni Club in Athens. Huge facility. I was an intern there through the summer, and I was part of their event promotion and marketing, and then they brought me on full-time as their new member coordinator. So I was responsible for, once people signed up for their membership, to introduce them to specific classes that they might be interested in, help them formulate their goals within the walls of the gym, and that later turned into me spearheading my own department in the gym that is still the Omni Club, was their full nutrition program. So I got my fitness nutrition certification. Luckily, they've actually paid for a lot of my certifications because I was so passionate about what I was doing that they invested in me. Here is where I started fitness nutrition consults. And as long as people were willing and able to work out and cleared by their medical professional, I could give them some guidance towards what they could eat, when they should eat it in relation to their workouts, and to help them with like pre-workout nutrition and post-workout nutrition. So I spearheaded that program. In the first month, I think I generated, I remember, like $13,000 in additional personal training revenue. And I also like serviced over like 300 personal training clients and intro nutrition consultations. So super, super busy in my first month. It was really, really great opportunity. I think within 3 months though, my husband found out that he did get his job with his company and that we were going to move. So at that point, I had to be a little creative with what I was thinking about going for in my future. And we were moving to a very, very small town. So I knew I really wanted to stay in the fitness realm, but there wasn't much opportunity for me there. So I kind of got a little like, I don't know, I got a little lost in thinking that I might be more beneficial to find like the traditional 9-to-5 job. So I took a couple interviews, I got all of them, but I didn't accept any position. One was like for furniture sales, and one was, I don't remember, it was terrible. They were in sales, and it just, nothing was what I was really going to be passionate about. So I found a local gym and I became a spin instructor. And from there, I started taking on personal training clients at a local personal training studio. And then I got recruited for a body weight style boot camp class at a cardio club called Brick House Cardio. So I worked at 3 different places. I was running around town pretty much like a chicken with my head cut off. If you're in the fitness industry, you know what I'm talking about. It's just servicing your client, and that just required me to be in the car. It required me to be kind of all over the place in a given day. It was very tiring, but I loved it. I worked with a large volume of clients. I did a large volume of classes, which later led to some struggles personally, internally for me, because I was teaching too many classes at once for my body. It was very much so under stressed. Anywho, so that rolled into me personal training and online coaching. Basically, as I started to move, clients I had wanted to continue working with me. They felt comfortable in the gym at this point, and they just wanted program design and they wanted nutritional guidance. So basically moving is what snowballed into me online coaching, because people wanted to continue working with me. I established that long-term relationship with them. I think that's the most important thing as a coach or personal trainer, is establishing long-term trust and relationship with your clients. That's really like how you can be successful in the fitness industry. It's not about being successful in the fitness industry on social media. It's about, if you're going to call yourself a fitness professional, you really need to have those long-standing personal relationships with people who depend on you for fitness guidance. Yes, like that's what it boils down to. So this may have got into like sort of a semi-rant, so I don't want to like get into it on my personal opinions on where things are going, because I still like to stay optimistic that, you know, there are great people who still focus on the true heart of fitness and health. So with that, so I was driving, that clip got a little dark and I was kind of going on a rant, and I really didn't want this Q&A to be rant specific, and I like to keep everything pretty optimistic, and I like to share with you guys my opinions. However, I don't like to enforce my opinions upon others. Yeah, so I'm very passionate about my involvement in the fitness industry, and I'm very passionate about my role as a fitness entrepreneur and a role as a fitness influencer. Passionate about the path that I feel like fitness influencers should take and fitness professionals should take, and very passionate about accreditations and certifications and all that jazz. So I'm gonna close this vlog here. I'm at the gym waiting for Alex. We did not drive together, so I don't know where he is, but all right, I'm gonna go. Give me a thumbs up if you like this Q&A. If you like this style of Q&A, or if you just really like me to sit in my big comfy white chair, I'm glad to do that too, but I thought this was a little bit more fun and interactive. But please subscribe to my channel, comment below if you have any questions. I'll be sure to answer them, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.
Waiting outside.